In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these easy fondant roses. We'll start with fondant, red for the petals and green for the leaves. We'll also need solid white vegetable shortening or coconut oil, a dusting pouch filled with cornstarch, a small rolling pin, a round cookie cutter, I have a metal one but plastic works fine, a pizza cutter or fondant roller, paintbrush and water, and black and brown gel paste food color. All these supplies are listed in the description below. I'll start by kneading the red fondant to make it pliable. Now, if you live in a hot and humid climate, adding about a half tablespoon of Tylose powder to your fondant will help prevent it from absorbing moisture in the air and becoming sticky. I've taken some shortening and I'm going to start kneading my red fondant. Let's check the stretch on this fondant. Now, if I pull it apart, the edge looks brittle like this. Now, if this is happening to you, you'll want to add a little more shortening or coconut oil to the fondant until you can pull it and get a nice stretch like this. Next, I'm going to adjust the color of my red fondant. It's really bright red straight from the package, so I want it to be more of a natural color. I'm going to use a bit of brown gel paste color to do this. See the difference? My green fondant is really bright too, so I'm going to use one very small drop of black to darken it a bit. The resulting green has more of a realistic tone, one that would be found in nature. Now let's cover this fondant in plastic wrap to prevent it from drying out as I work on my petals. I start by rolling my red fondant into a ball. Next, I dust my clean surface with cornstarch to prevent the fondant from sticking to the surface. After flattening the ball of fondant with my hands, I lay the fondant down and prepare to start rolling it from the center with my small rolling pin. Fondant should be about this thick before moving on to the next step. Next, I use my round metal cookie cutter to cut 5 circles from the red fondant. To create more delicate petals, I press the outer edges of the fondant around each circle with my fingers. Next, I use a paintbrush to lightly brush some water onto 1/2 of a petal. Then gently place the next petal, overlapping the brushed edge. I repeat this process until all of the petals are lined up like this. Next, I use a pizza cutter or fondant cutter to cut the row of petals across the center horizontally. Next, I brush more water onto the end of the final petal and the bottom half of the remaining petals. Then I gently roll my set of petals from the end like this. Once the fondant is completely rolled, I can gently flare out the petals to create a more realistic look. Now, if you're struggling with this step, try gently rolling the fondant on your surface in an upright position like this. Excess cornstarch can be brushed off gently with a dry brush. Making leaves are very simple. Here I pinch some green fondant from the larger ball and form an abstract leaf shape by rolling a small ball, forming a teardrop shape, and flattening the fondant. I use a sharp knife to press a crease into the center of the leaf. Now I'm going to make a few more of these. Next, I brush the bottom edge of the leaf with water and gently press it onto the bottom edge of the rose. To keep the leaf in place until it dries, support it with a small rolled piece of paper towel. And here we have gorgeous fondant roses that are super easy to make, especially if you're new to using fondant. Store these roses in a shallow airtight container until you're ready to place them onto your cake or cupcakes. These are really basic roses, but if you would like to see a video on how to make an even more realistic rose, comment yes below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing for more cake decorating tips, tricks, and tutorials. A special shout out to all of my sprinkles. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel with your membership. And as always, thanks for watching.